To recover from a phone outage where incoming calls are essential, the very first step is to get the calls away from the failed network. There is only one way this can be done. Your existing carrier needs to forward calls to a functioning backup network. This is easily done using standard telephone service provider features, such as forward on failure or remote call forwarding. The next step to quickly restore calls is to send them to a platform that can handle the volume. The platform needs to be simple and easy to navigate. Teleira has developed its own hosted PBX designed for backup use. Think of it as your organization's phone system, but in the cloud. If your facility's phones ever stop working, your hosted PBX instantly steps in to answer calls, route them to available staff, and keep your organization reachable to anyone with connectivity. It doesn't matter whether your building is offline, evacuated, or simply overwhelmed with calls. Your callers still reach a live person who can help, or they are given the information they need. Because no one knows the nature of the next outage, a hosted phone system needs to be extremely flexible. Teleira's hosted PBX was built specifically for emergencies and has been tested and modified over the last 18 years. It's flexible, easy to use, and always ready, like a communication control center in the cloud. Think of it like a box of Legos for phone systems. You can build exactly what your organization needs, then adjust as needed. The hosted PBX lets you build as many call routing scenarios as you want. Incoming calls can be delivered anywhere. If a significant event has occurred, have the auto receptionist inform callers of the facility's status. Let's look at a scenario using option 5. Facility evacuated? Deliver incoming calls to cell phones? Your facility has flooded and you need to evacuate. Your phone system was working when you left. Your first step for this scenario is to remote call forward incoming calls to the hosted PBX. Typically, you do this by dialing a number and entering a passcode. Now let's look at Teleira's hosted PBX, or the Communication Command and Control Center.
This is the user interface of the hosted PBX, which anyone with the password can access at any location. If you are on site and you have no traditional internet connection, you can access the interface with the satellite connection. Currently, I am looking at the call trees tab at the top of the page. You should always pre-build the call trees in advance for different scenarios, so they are always ready at the drop of a hat. In the flood scenario, we want to inform the callers what is going on at the hospital and give them options to reach the hospital staff, so we are going to select option 2, incoming calls to cell phones. Your facility's incoming calls have been forwarded to 866-635-7800, which you see at the top of the screen. If you dial that access number directly, you can test the system and listen to what callers will hear. This is the greeting callers will hear.
You have reached the hospital. Please listen carefully as our options have changed due to the flooding in the area. The hospital is being evacuated to a number of other facilities. We can forward your call to the hospital staff, who will be able to answer on their cell phones. You can select which department you want to reach or dial 0 for a dial by name directory. Please be patient with us during this crisis. We have planned extensively for a crisis similar to this. Thank you.
You can nest hundreds of different options for the caller. I can easily add people to the directory or make adjustments to call groups. I can go to the admin tab at the top, click on Documents on the left, and download the user manual for this interface from any location. I can click on Call Detail on the left, Show Report, and I see how many calls we have received in real time. I can also see who answered the call, or who the call was handed off to. If there is interest, you can receive temporary admin access to the hosted PBX, so you can play around with it.
Teleira offers 4 services. 1 satellite combined with a hosted PBX for small facilities. 2 hosted PBX only with no satellite, used for branches and remote locations. 3 satellite POTS lines used to replace copper POTS lines. 4 satellite to existing phone systems for larger locations. Option 1. The satellite dish with the hosted PBX requires only a rooftop satellite dish. It needs to be connected to a satellite modem inside the facility. The cost of the satellite and hosted PBX is based on the number of trunk lines provided. The cost of this service for 10 trunks is $450 per month, or lower if you use the Universal Service Fund. This solution provides uninterrupted internet connectivity to a limited number of devices. The downside is that there is no quality of service for voice calls. If you allow too many people Wi-Fi access to the satellite, the voice quality may suffer. Option 2 is the remote emergency hosted PBX. There is no satellite dish or on-site equipment. This service only recovers incoming calls to the facility. This service starts at $300 a month, and you can group several facilities. This option by itself does not qualify for Healthcare Connect funding. Option 3 includes options 1 and 2. This option provides POTS, plain old telephone service lines, to a facility. 2 pieces of equipment are required for this service. If you have existing POTS lines, you can port the numbers over. This option turns older POTS lines into simulated two-way PBX lines. These lines now define communication resiliency and qualify for Healthcare Connect funding. As with traditional POTS lines, you can make 911 calls. There are 4 different types of POTS lines. Look at the differences in features and prices for the different types. Pricing on the satellite POTS lines is based on the number of POTS lines provided. The Universal Service Fund may be used. You have quality of service for calls on this solution. If you have only 5 POTS lines and have access to the Healthcare Connect Fund through a healthcare coalition, your cost will be around $55 a month per line. The more lines, the lower the cost per line. The satellite POTS lines connect to your facility the same way as the previous POTS lines. Option 4 connects directly to the existing phone system, regardless of the technology of the phone system. Besides the satellite equipment, Teleira installs additional equipment. The cost of the satellite to the existing phone system is based on the number of trunk lines provided. For example, 25 satellite trunks connected to the existing phone system cost between $700 and $1,800 a month, depending on whether the Healthcare Connect Fund is used. The significant advantage of this service is that calls to and from the facility are seamless to both the caller and the call recipient. Today, 95% of hospitals have only a mass notification service along with FirstNet, GETS, and WPS. By adding Teleira communication resiliency, you are guaranteeing that the public, other healthcare providers, emergency responders, and local, state, and federal responders can always reach you. With Teleira, everything is in place and waiting for the next outage, ensuring that no matter what happens, your organization stays reachable, responsive, and resilient.